Modere is a multi-level marketing company that doesn't really have the greatest reputation. In April 2020, the Federal Trade Commission sent them a warning letter to stop making claims that their products could treat or prevent COVID-19. They were also told to stop making claims on social media that by joining their multi-level marketing team, people could make a lot of money selling their products. So what are these products? Well, there are a variety of products, but two they claim are related to fat loss and metabolism caught my attention. A supplement they call Modere Burn, and a liquid they call Modere Trim, both of which are really expensive. But given their history with the FTC and making inaccurate health claims, how effective are they really for fat loss and metabolism? Let's take an in-depth look at their oral supplement Modere Burn to see if it's worth your money, see if we can replicate it with a cheaper alternative, and give it an overall rating. Let's take a look at the ingredients. Here are the doses per capsule. The recommended dosing is 3 capsules a day. By the way, if you want to hear about my review of their liquid supplement Modere Trim, I'll link that video down below in the description. Whenever supplements add ingredients into their product, there are 3 very common issues with many of these ingredients. One is that the doses they use are often way too small to be effective. 2 is that the types of extract they use are ineffective and don't contain much of the active compounds. And 3 is that the ingredient itself has not reliably shown any beneficial effect in humans. When we analyze all these ingredients, we're going to see which one of these issues they have. Cordyceps is an Asian herb that's traditionally used to help support the body, almost like some sort of general vitality tonic. Herbalists call it an adaptogen, which is something that helps your body adapt to stress and potentially improve exercise capacity. Today's product marketers might prefer the term boosting your metabolism. Modere Burn is likely using it in hopes to help improve people's efforts to exercise and burn more calories to support weight loss. Unfortunately for this supplement, studies have shown that it does not boost exercise performance beyond placebo. So the research would suggest that Cordyceps is actually not useful as an adaptogen for exercise. Vitamin C is an essential nutrient used throughout our bodies, and while there are no real uses specifically for weight loss, it's sometimes supplemented by individuals under stress, mostly to help support their immune systems. Modere Burn may be trying to use this as a general support vitamin, but unless you're deficient in vitamin C, which is quite rare in North America, supplementing additional vitamin C is not going to do anything for your weight or metabolism. Berberine is a chemical that might have some uses as an alternative to metformin in controlling blood sugar levels. It also has some potential benefits for cholesterol. I've talked about berberine for weight loss in another video, and I'll link it down below in the description. Berberine is more beneficial for blood sugar control rather than weight loss, and those who do lose a little weight on it are often the ones who actually have blood sugar issues, like diabetes or PCOS. Regardless, Modere Burn doesn't have enough berberine to be useful anyways, as most studies use 1 to 4 grams per day. Caffeine's effects on weight loss are primarily as an exercise aid to help people to increase the intensity and duration of their exercise. Guarana extracts are primarily known for their caffeine content, so these 2 ingredients in Modere Burn provide about 181 milligrams of caffeine, which is approximately 3 shots of espresso or about 2 cups of coffee. Now, it's not going to have all of the benefits of drinking espresso or coffee, since coffee also contains significant amounts of chlorogenic acid, which have some secondary effects on improving fat burning. Realistically, this secondary effect is quite weak, which is why most research focuses on the effects of caffeine on energy and burning calories through exercise. Now, you may notice that Modere Burn actually contains some chlorogenic acid in the form of another ingredient they contain, green coffee bean extract. This is true, except for the fact that the dose being used is tiny. A single cup of coffee contains anywhere from 20 to 200 milligrams of chlorogenic acid. The 1 milligram of green coffee bean extract is not going to do anything. There's some interest in using the fucoxanthins found in seaweeds like Japanese kelp for a variety of health issues, since fucoxanthins might have some anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, and anti-obesity effects. Unfortunately, the current research on fucoxanthins is mostly limited to lab animals and in research labs, so these effects on humans at the moment are not very well established and mostly theoretical. Coca, theobromine, and green tea have been studied for numerous health benefits related to things like cardiovascular disease and cognitive health. I'm not going to cover all of them here, but from the perspective of this particular supplement, it has also been studied for muscle recovery as an exercise aid, since they have antioxidant properties and are believed to be weak stimulants and vasodilators. Combined together, it would theoretically help with improving blood flow to the muscles, and Modere Burn is likely including them, hoping it will help with exercise performance, again to burn more calories. Unfortunately, the research on these ingredients for exercise performance is weak at best, and for weight loss is even weaker, although the EGCG in green tea might have some small effects on weight. Regardless, the doses Modere Burn uses are far below the effective doses anyways, so even if we give this combination of ingredients the benefit of the doubt and say that they all can help with improving exercise capacity, the doses in Modere Burn are too low to be helpful anyways. Olive oil is full of polyunsaturated fats, which may be beneficial for cardiovascular and metabolic health. Unfortunately for olive oil supplements, research studies that find health benefits from taking olive oil were from people using it in their diet, not taking olive oil supplements. The likely reason why supplements aren't really helpful is dosage. These people are drizzling olive oil in their food and using significant amounts of it in their cooking every day, not taking 30 milligrams in pill form. If I had to guess what the ginger, allspice, and cinnamon might be trying to do, I'd guess that these spices are likely included for their traditional stimulating properties. For example, ginger and cinnamon have a sort of warming sensation when eaten or drank as a tea, and traditional herbalists took this to mean that it might help with blood circulation and help to kind of reinvigorate the body. There's no good evidence that it actually does this, but cinnamon does have some weak research into potentially helping with blood sugar control. It doesn't really matter though, since the doses of these three ingredients in Modere Burn are tiny and far too low to do anything anyways. Chromium seems to have some effects on managing blood sugar, and the research would suggest that supplementing it is mostly useful for those who actually need it. For example, if you're an individual who has blood sugar issues or has insulin resistance problems, like those with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or PCOS, supplementing chromium might be helpful for your condition. However, if you're taking it for the sole purpose of losing weight, you should also understand that according to the research, the amount of weight you lose on chromium is likely not significant. Also, if you don't have any issues with insulin resistance, are perfectly healthy, and eat a varied diet that's not deficient in chromium, supplementing chromium is not likely doing much for you. Looking at the safety of Modere Burn, the ingredients of highest concern are the caffeine and berberine. Modere Burn provides about 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine. So if you're sensitive to caffeine, have cardiovascular issues, suffer from anxiety disorders, or are taking other stimulant drugs, you need to ask your doctor to see if it's safe for you to take. I would also avoid taking it in the evening, or it might cause insomnia. Berberine can interfere with other medications by affecting the way your liver metabolizes certain drugs. So if you're taking any medication, you should ask your doctor to see if it's safe for you to take. I would say that this product is also not safe for pregnancy or if you're breastfeeding. Taken together, Modere Burn is trying to create a supplement that helps support your efforts to exercise, mostly through the caffeine, but with a few other supporting nutrients that theoretically help with exercise capacity. Most of its ingredients are way underdosed, but there might be enough ingredients in there to also slightly help with blood sugar issues. It appears that the primary way that Modere Burn would work for weight loss, if it did at all, would be mainly as a supplement to improve your energy and capacity for exercise and burn more calories as a result. This means that you would need to exercise more frequently and with greater intensity while on the supplement for it to be useful at all. The doses it uses essentially limit it to a caffeine supplement with some added vitamin C, Fucoxanthin, and Chromium. Modere Burn is very expensive, and they're charging $83 for a month's supply. Compared to if you were to just get caffeine tablets, that's around $2 to $3 a month, vitamin C, that's also $2 to $3 a month, Fucoxanthin, that's about $15 a month for a better quality Fucoxanthin supplement, and Chromium, that's $1 to $2 a month. And you can essentially recreate what Modere Burn provides for around $20 to $23 a month just by supplementing the key ingredients individually. Rating Modere Burn by effectiveness for weight loss, I'm giving it a C. It basically works as an exercise aid, and taking it without increasing your exercise is not likely going to have any effects on your weight whatsoever. Rating it by cost, I'm giving it a D. A monthly cost of over $80 is a little steep, and it can be essentially replicated by getting individual ingredients at a cost many times less. Rating it for safety, I'm giving it a C. It's not safe for everyone to use due to the high caffeine content, and the berberine can interfere with medication. Overall rating, I'm giving it a D. I would not recommend it at all. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Young. Do you think it's worth it? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and leave me a like. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date, and share this video with someone you know can use the info.